She stepped out of the taxi just before midnight with a small carry-on and a tote bag that had a silver zipper that always stuck halfway. The road still smelled like rain. The hotel's glass doors slid open and a cool breath of air came out to meet her. Inside, the lobby looked warm and golden. A waterfall wall whispered from one side, and a soft jazz song floated from somewhere you could not see. She paused to look at the chandelier that hung like a galaxy of glass. 2 years earlier, she had chosen that exact light from a thick catalog because it felt like hope. She smiled at that memory and walked in. Her name was Alicia, and most people in the company called her Miss Beaumont. She was the founder and CEO, and she cared about details. She liked to see her hotels at night, alone, unannounced. At night, the truth showed. You could see where a smile got tired. You could see if the marble stayed clean. You could hear if the music was too loud for a late hour. You could feel if the place still held kindness when everyone was busy and sleepy and ready to go home. She came in simple clothes on purpose: black dress, light denim jacket, clean sneakers, no fancy jewelry. Her natural curls were pulled into a low bun. She did not want anyone to treat her like a VIP because of her title. She wanted to be treated like any guest who needed a safe place to sleep. She noticed small problems at once. The bell on the counter had fingerprints. A tiny potted plant near the computer had dry, curling leaves. There was a chip on the edge of the white marble that someone had tried to hide with a brochure stand. A housekeeping cart rested near a service door with a towel hanging a little crooked. The scent in the air was nice, but a little strong for midnight. None of these things were disasters. But small things were like quiet warning lights in her mind. She stopped at the front desk and waited. The young man behind the screen was typing fast, his jaw tight. He glanced up and then back down again. Alicia gave him a soft smile. "Good evening," she said in a warm voice. "I'd like to check in." He did not look up. "We're sold out," he said, like the words were an old habit. "I have a reservation," she said. He finally looked at her. His name tag said Evan. Name: Alicia Beaumont. He typed, then paused, then frowned. "Don't see anything for that name." "That's okay," she said kindly. "If you have any room left, I can book one now." "We're sold out," he said again, flatter this time. He called over his shoulder without turning around. "Linda." A woman in a navy blazer came out from a side office with a quick, professional smile. "Welcome," she said. "I'm Linda, the duty manager. I'm afraid we're fully committed tonight." Alicia kept her smile gentle. "I understand. Before I walked in, I checked the hotel's website. It showed some rooms open. A standard king, a deluxe, and a corner studio." The manager's smile tightened. "Online inventory is not always accurate," she said. Alicia nodded as if she did not know the system better than anyone. She had approved the channel rules herself. The website refreshed every 5 minutes. If a room showed online at 11:52 p.m., it existed at 11:52 p.m. Still, she stayed calm. "Could you check one more time? I've had a long day. I'm happy to take any room." The clerk tapped a few keys and shook his head without lifting his eyes. "We're sold out. Do you have a wait list?" Alicia asked, keeping her voice light. "No," the manager said. "And we have a policy to prioritize our premium members when we're at capacity." She slid a small card across the counter. "You can try our sister property near the interstate. It's more suitable." Alicia heard the pause before "more suitable." She studied the manager's face for a second, then let it go. She had seen this kind of quick sorting before, a quiet decision about who mattered and who did not. Her clothes were simple. Her bag was plain. She did not look like a person with power. That was by design, but it always stung a little. Still, She chose kindness first. "Thank you," she said. "Do you mind if I sit in the lobby a few minutes? My assistant might find a place for me." "Of course," the manager said, and added with a tight smile, "Please keep your luggage tucked in. We want the lobby tidy for tomorrow's event." "I will," Alicia said. She moved to a long sofa near the waterfall wall. The water slid down the stone like silk. She opened the hotel's app on her phone. The design was clean and simple, white and gold. She chose the city and tonight's date. The little circle spun, then stopped. "Available," the app said. "Rooms, 7." She blinked once, slow. Then she ran a simple test. She booked a standard king under a Beaumont, using her personal card. The confirmation hit her email in 10 seconds. Her reservation number was short and elegant, a detail from the new system she had approved last spring. Alicia looked up. 2 new guests were at the desk. The clerk's voice was suddenly warm and bright. "Welcome. We have you in a corner studio. You'll love the view." He smiled. It was a good, real smile. People could be kind and still make mistakes. She believed that. A security guard stood by the elevator, hands clasped behind his back, eyes sweeping the lobby in a calm rhythm. His badge read Ray. He had a patient face. He nodded at Alicia. She nodded back. Her phone buzzed. A message from her assistant, "Want me to handle?" She typed, "Not yet. Please don't call the GM. Please don't call ops." She put the phone face down and folded her hands over it. She had learned to wait a moment before she moved. Waiting sometimes let the truth step into the light. The manager walked past again and moved a tiny plant to cover the chip in the marble. The soil in the pot had pulled away from the edges, leaving a dry ring. Across the lobby, a staff member straightened a stack of magazines with care. A couple came in laughing softly, their small dog tucked into a striped carrier. The clerk welcomed them with ease. A minute later, they walked to the elevator with 2 keys and a promise of late checkout. Alicia watched them go. Her eyes did not feel angry. They felt clear. She stood and returned to the desk. "Hi again," she said softly. "I booked a room through the app just now. Could you check it?" "We're sold out," the clerk said, not looking up. "I understand," she said, still calm. "But the app confirmed my room. A Beaumont. Reservation ending in 2046. He frowned at the screen. "Must be a glitch. The app sometimes doesn't sync. You can cancel it and get a refund." "Could you try to find it?" she asked. The manager returned. "Is there a problem?" "The guest says she booked on the app," the clerk said. The manager gave Alicia that same tight smile. "We don't have that room in-house. It's best if you cancel." "Could you run the reservation number?" Alicia asked evenly. "If there is an overbook, I can take any other type." "As I mentioned, we are fully committed," the manager said. "We also have a major event tomorrow with high-profile attendees. We need to protect the experience." "Of course," Alicia said. "Thank you for explaining." She didn't argue. She didn't raise her voice. She simply walked back to the sofa and opened the app again, this time switching to a special staff view tied to her executive credentials. She never used it on public Wi-Fi, so she turned off Wi-Fi and used her phone's hotspot. She logged in and checked the live dashboard. Occupancy, 83%. Out of order, 4 clean vacant, 11. Her jaw tightened. 11 clean, empty rooms. She closed the staff view. She was not here to trap or shame anyone. She was here to find the truth and fix what was broken. She stood and walked toward the security guard. "Evening," she said. "Evening, ma'am," he said kindly. "Busy night?" she asked. "Always something," he said with a small smile. You traveling through? I have a meeting at 8, she said. Hoping to sleep a few hours. I hope they take care of you, he said, and he sounded like he meant it. Thank you, Ray, she said. She liked his calm way. From the corner of her eye, she saw a young woman come out of the back office carrying a stack of fresh key sleeves. Her name tag said Maya. She looked worried but brave. When she set the sleeves down, Alicia stepped closer, keeping her voice gentle. Could I ask you something? Maya glanced at the manager's office door and lowered her voice. Yes. Do you have clean, empty rooms right now? Alicia asked. Maya swallowed. I'm not supposed to say. But, yes. There are some. Then why am I being told the hotel is sold out? Alicia asked, still calm. Sometimes we are told to hold rooms, Maya whispered. For VIP arrivals. For the morning. I can't override. I'm sorry. You've been very kind, Alicia said softly. What time did you start today? 2 in the afternoon, Maya said. I finish at 10 tomorrow. Long shift, Alicia said. Thank you for your hard work. She meant it. She had worked front desks herself in the early days. She knew how long the nights could be and how heavy the small decisions could feel. Back on the sofa, Alicia took a sip of water from her bag and thought of her mother. Her mother's voice had guided her through so many rooms like this one. When someone tries to make you smaller, her mother would say, remember who you are. That sentence had carried her through college, her first big loan, her first renovation, and boardrooms where she was the only black woman at the table. It had taught her to choose calm. Calm was a tool. Calm opened doors that anger would slam shut. Her phone buzzed. Another text from her assistant, I can call the regional director. Say the word. Alicia typed, please hold. Then she sent a short message to the company's internal audit hotline, this is AB at the Riverside property. Please pull an immediate night audit snapshot and hold it. No outbound calls to the property yet. She pressed send. It was not a threat. It was a simple request for facts. She stood again and walked to the desk. The manager had just finished a phone call. Alicia spoke gently. I understand you're fully committed. Before I go find another place, could I have a short note from you stating that the hotel declined to honor my confirmed reservation? It will help me with a refund. The manager blinked. That won't be necessary. It would help me, Alicia said. Just your first name, the time, and the reason. The manager hesitated, then pulled a slip of paper from under the counter and wrote a line, guest arrived with mobile reservation, hotel at capacity, offered sister property. She signed Linda and slid it across. Thank you, Alicia said. She folded the note and placed it in her tote. Then she looked up with the same calm smile she had carried all night. In 5 minutes, I'm going to speak with the general manager. I'd like you to be present. The manager's smile wavered. The general manager is off-site, she said. I know, Alicia said softly. He will join by video. She turned her eyes to the chandelier again. I chose that light because it felt like hope, she said, almost to herself, but loud enough to be heard. Then she met the manager's eyes, kind and steady. 5 minutes, she repeated, and she walked back to the sofa to start a call that would remind this hotel who it was meant to be. Alicia propped her phone against the water bottle on the low table and opened the video link. The screen glowed in the warm light of the lobby. The waterfall whispered behind her. A faint jazz trumpet carried the melody like a calm voice in the night. The security guard, Ray, watched from a polite distance. He gave her a small nod that felt like support. She nodded back. The general manager's face appeared. She was in a quiet room with a bookshelf behind her and a small lamp in the corner. Her name was Priya Mehta. She spoke in a calm, clear voice. Good evening. How can I help? Good evening, Priya, Alicia said, keeping her tone even. I'd like you to join me for a quick 5-minute check-in with your night team. It will help us keep a promise. Priya straightened a little. Of course. Are you in the lobby now? Yes, Alicia said. I'll ask the duty manager and the front desk to join, if that's okay. Priya nodded. Please do. Alicia looked toward the office. Miss Linda, could you join a quick call? Evan too, if you're free. Her voice was warm and simple, like a guest asking for help, not a boss giving orders. But something in her calm drew people closer. Linda came out with careful steps. Evan followed, rubbing his hands together like he was trying to wake them up. Maya stood behind the desk, unsure if she should come. Alicia looked at her and said, You've been helpful. Please join us as well. Maya's shoulders eased a little. She stepped closer. Priya's face on the screen took them in. Thank you for meeting. I'm Priya, the general manager. She smiled. I know it's late. Evening, Linda said, smooth but tight. Evening, Evan echoed. Hi, Maya said softly. Alicia spoke in the same even tone. Before we begin, Priya, a quick request. Could you pull the live occupancy from your side? I'll do the same. I just received a night audit snapshot from the audit team. It is held, not acted on. It's only for clarity. Priya blinked, surprised for half a breath, then recovered. I can pull it now. She glanced at a second screen off camera. Give me one moment. Linda's eyes flicked to Alicia's phone, then to Alicia's face. Her smile thinned by a hair. May I ask in a moment, Alicia said kindly. First, clarity. Priya returned to the call. I have the live dashboard. Current occupancy is 83%. We have 4 rooms out of order. We have 11 clean vacant. Evan's mouth opened a little. He looked at the desk screen, then back at the phone, as if the numbers might change if he stared hard enough. Alicia nodded once. Thank you, Priya. That matches my snapshot. Linda cleared her throat. We are holding rooms for VIPs. And for morning arrivals. There is an event. We want to protect the experience. Her words were measured, careful. Alicia's voice stayed soft. Understood. How many are you holding? Linda hesitated. Several. How many? Alicia repeated, still gentle. Linda looked at Evan's screen. He read something there and answered, 9. Thank you, Alicia said. Priya, can you confirm the hold count? Priya's eyes shifted to her other screen. There are 9 rooms tagged as VIP hold unassigned. Are any of those VIPs confirmed with the hotel? Alicia asked. Priya checked. 2 are confirmed for early arrival. The rest are not attached to a name yet. Alicia let a small silence rest. The water wall kept whispering. Someone wheeled a room service cart across the back of the lobby. The wheels hummed over the carpet and clicked on the tile. The clock behind the desk ticked softly. In our brand standards, Alicia said, what do we do when a guest arrives with a confirmed reservation in the app? Priya answered right away. We honor it. We release held rooms as needed. We never turn away a confirmed direct booking unless there is a life safety issue, like a flood or a power failure. Alicia nodded. Thank you. Linda's smile had faded. The shield in her eyes was thinner now. We were managing risk, she said. Tomorrow is a big day. We can manage risk, Alicia said, and still keep our promise in the present. A hotel is not a dream of tomorrow. It is a home for the person in front of us right now. Priya cleared her throat gently. Linda, please release the appropriate held rooms. We will keep the 2 with confirmed VIP names. The rest should be available to sell or assign. Also, please check this guest's app reservation and complete her check-in. Evan turned to his keyboard, hands moving quick now. I see a reservation for A. Beaumont. Confirmed 7 minutes ago. Standard King. His voice was careful. Thank you, Alicia said. Please proceed. He clicked, then paused. It's asking for an override code to assign from a VIP hold bucket. Priya spoke softly. Use my code. I'll text it. A second later Evan nodded, entered the code, and breathed out. Done. Room 1524, clean and ready. Maya smiled at the number like it was a small sunrise. Linda stood still, her hands folded so neatly they looked like they might hurt. Alicia's face did not show triumph. Only steady kindness. Before we finish, I want to ask one more question. When a guest is told the hotel is sold out while rooms are held, what feeling does that create? Evan's voice was quiet. It feels like we didn't tell the truth. Maya added, even softer, it feels like they don't matter. Linda's eyes flicked to Maya, then back to the phone. Something in her face let go. It was a poor choice, she said. I should have looked again. I should have asked better questions. I'm sorry. Priya nodded. Thank you, Linda. We will correct it. Alicia's eyes warmed. Thank you for saying that. She turned slightly, so the camera could see the lobby. This place is beautiful. Someone chose that chandelier with care. Someone dusted each crystal. Someone fills the water wall and tests the pump. Someone folded those lobby blankets on the chairs. When we say sold out to a tired person with a confirmed room, we push against all that care. We never mean to. But it happens. Tonight it happened. Ray, the security guard, stood a little closer now, as if protecting a circle of understanding. A couple walked in holding hands, quiet and happy. They waited behind, giving the group space. Priya spoke gently. Here's what we'll do. Evan, complete the check-in and ensure late checkout is available if the guest needs it. Add a note for a welcome amenity and remove tonight's room charge as a service recovery. Maya, please prepare the keys and check that room 1524 has fresh water and extra towels. Linda, after we complete this, let's do a quick huddle to review the hold policy and our script. I'll schedule a longer training for the team tomorrow afternoon. And I will personally join in the morning to talk with the event organizer about their actual needs. We won't hold phantom rooms. Alicia listened. That sounds right. She paused, then spoke with care. Priya, there is one more piece. I asked for the note that said the hotel declined to honor my confirmed reservation. Please scan it and attach it to your night log. Not to blame. To learn. We will use it in training to show how easy it is to slide into habits when we are tired and worried about tomorrow. Linda swallowed. Understood. Alicia added, also, please give recognition to Maya for offering to check back-end inventory earlier. She tried to help with care. Maya's eyes widened. She shook her head shyly. I wanted to help. You did, Alicia said. That matters. Evan printed the key sleeves and slid them to Maya. She tucked the cards in carefully and wrote the room number in neat numbers. Her hand was steady now. Evan looked at Alicia. I'm sorry for how I spoke earlier, he said. I didn't look twice. I should have. Thank you, Evan, Alicia said. It's late. Nights are hard. I've worked this desk before. You can recover a whole night with one good choice. You made it? Priya glanced at her screen, then back. Before we end, may I ask the name on the reservation is Alicia smiled, gentle and open. Yes. It is Alicia Beaumont. Linda inhaled, a small, sharp sound. Evan's eyes went wide. Maya covered her mouth. Ray's eyebrows lifted a little, then softened into a knowing look, like a puzzle piece had found its place. Priya sat straighter. "Miss Beaumont," she said, careful and sincere. "Thank you for your patience, and for how you handled this." Alicia kept her voice simple. "I came as a guest. I wanted to see our truth at midnight. Tonight our truth was mixed. There was kindness in the room. There was also fear of tomorrow. We can hold both without shame and move forward." Linda's voice had lost its polish. It was just a human voice now. "I'm truly sorry," she said. "I will learn from this." "I believe you," Alicia said. "That is why I wanted you here. Not to embarrass anyone. To choose a better next minute." Priya nodded again, almost like a bow. "We will do better. I'll send a written follow-up with the steps we just named. And I'll be on site at 7. "Thank you," Alicia said. "I will be in the lobby around 7:30. I'd like to walk the floor with you, quietly, before the event begins." She looked at Linda and Evangelist. "If you're still on, join for 10 minutes. Maya, please get some rest when your shift ends. You have earned it." Maya smiled, small and bright. Evan looked relieved. Linda looked like a person who had put down a heavy bag. Priya said good night and ended the call. The screen dimmed and went dark. The lobby felt softer now, like a held breath had finally been released. Evan handed over the key sleeve. "Room 1524, he said, steady and respectful. "We've extended late checkout. There's a note for a welcome amenity. If you need anything, press guest services on the phone, and ask for me. I'll be here." "Thank you, Evan," Alicia said. "Thank you, Maya." Maya nodded. "Welcome, Miss Beaumont." Alicia turned to Linda. The manager's eyes shone, not with tears but with a clear light of understanding. "Thank you for staying in the conversation," Alicia said. "That is not easy to do." Linda took a breath. "Thank you for giving me the chance to correct. I forgot, for a moment, what the lobby is for." "The lobby is for welcome," Alicia said lightly. "It's a doorway to trust." Ray stepped forward and pressed the elevator button. "Let me ride up with you, ma'am," he said kindly. "I'll make sure you're all set." "That's very kind, Ray," she said. "I'm fine. But thank you." They walked together toward the elevator. The doors opened with a soft chime. Alicia stepped in and turned back to face the lobby. The chandelier shimmered above, a quiet constellation. She smiled up at it. Hope, she thought again. Hope is not a decoration. Hope is a practice. It is a choice we make at the desk, in our words, in our late-night decisions. As the doors began to close, she saw a couple approach the desk. They looked worried, like their travel day had been long. Evan greeted them with a warm smile she had heard earlier for other guests, but now it held something extra, care that had been awake all along and was now in charge. "Welcome," he said. "We're happy you're here." Maya was already checking inventory, quick and sure. Linda stood beside them, not to control, but to support. The doors closed gently. The elevator hummed. Alicia breathed in and let her shoulders relax. The night had stretched long, but it had turned. She had not raised her voice. She had not made a scene. She had simply asked for truth and chosen calm. That was how she liked to win, with clarity, with grace, with a standard everyone could see and follow. On the 15th floor, the elevator opened to a quiet hall with soft lights and thick carpet. She walked to 1524. The key light blinked green. Inside, the room smelled like fresh linen and lemon. A small tray held 2 bottles of water and a card. She set her tote on the bench and opened the curtains. The city shimmered. In the reflection on the glass, she saw her own calm face and smiled at it. She poured water into a glass and took a long sip. Her phone buzzed with a note from Priya, "Thank you. Meeting set for 7:30 a.m. Welcome amenity en route." Another message arrived from the audit team, "Snapshot archived. No outbound calls made." She sent a quick reply, "Thank you. Please send policy refresher to all managers by morning." Add line, "Never use holds to exclude. Always use holds to prepare." Alicia turned off the lamp and lay down on the bed. It was firm, exactly like she had insisted during testing months ago. She closed her eyes. The water wall's whisper was still somehow inside the room, or maybe it was just in her mind now, steady and kind. She thought of her mother again and the sentence that had carried her this far. When someone tries to make you smaller, remember who you are. Tonight, she had remembered. And because she remembered, the hotel did too. Morning light slid across the 15th floor like a quiet ribbon. Alicia woke before her alarm, rested in a way she had not expected after such a long night. She opened the curtains and watched the city stretch and sparkle. Down below, delivery trucks made clean lines along the curb. A jogger crossed in front of the fountain, his breath a small cloud in the cool air. Alicia brewed coffee with the small machine by the desk and took a sip. It was strong and simple. She smiled. She had asked for this exact blend to be standard in every room, smooth, not bitter, friendly at any hour. At 7:25, she left the room with her tote, the zipper still catching halfway like a familiar joke. The elevator ride down felt calm. She could hear the lobby long before she saw it, the waterfall's whisper, a soft piano track, the distant clink of plates from the breakfast area. When the doors opened, the chandelier above her caught the early light and threw a tiny rain of stars onto the marble. It felt like a welcome. Priya stood by the front desk already, a tablet in her hands. She wore a navy dress and a focused, warm expression. Linda stood nearby with a notepad, more grounded than the night before, her shoulders lowered, her eyes open. Evan was there too, neat and alert, and Maya had traded her late-night shift for a fresh uniform and a small braid tucked behind one ear. Ray watched from his usual post, steady as ever. They all turned toward Alicia as she walked up. "Good morning," Alicia said, her voice soft but bright. "Thank you for meeting early." "Good morning," Priya said with a real smile. "We're ready." They started with a slow walk. Not a parade, not a test, just a gentle tour with eyes open and heart steady. Alicia ran a finger lightly along the edge of the marble counter and felt a smooth patch where a chip had been last night. A temporary repair had been done at dawn. It would need a proper fix, but the care meant something. The small plant had fresh soil and a sip of water. The scent in the air had been tuned down a touch, still pleasant, but respectful of morning. Someone had straightened the magazines into a tidy fan and removed a crumpled brochure that had hidden under the table. They moved to the breakfast area. The fruit was bright and washed. The tongs rested on clean plates, not on the counter. The oatmeal was stirred, not stiff. The team had done a quiet, honest job. Alicia made small notes as they walked, not to catch anyone, but to remember the moments of care she wanted to repeat. Back at the desk, Priya opened her tablet. "Quick update," she said. "We released the 9 held rooms to 2 confirmed early arrivals and 7 general inventory. Overnight we sold 3 more to walk-ins who arrived after midnight. We're at 86% now and tracking a normal morning. I've rewritten our hold script with Linda, and we'll do a 10-minute training at noon for everyone." Alicia nodded, pleased. "Thank you. Let's also add a simple line for all staff: we keep holds to prepare, not to exclude. It's easy to remember." "Done," Priya said, typing it in. A woman approached the desk then, holding a toddler's hand and balancing a diaper bag on her shoulder. Her eyes looked tired and hopeful at the same time. "Good morning," she said. "We flew overnight from Phoenix. My husband is at the hospital with his mom. She had surgery yesterday. Our check-in is at 3. Is there any chance, even if it's just a place to rest for a few hours?" Evan looked at Linda, and Linda looked at Alicia. It was a small test life had arranged for them. Alicia took a step back and let the team move. Linda turned to the woman with a voice that sounded like a soft blanket. "Good morning. I'm Linda. We'll take care of you. Let me check what we can open right now." She glanced at Evangelist. "Do we have a clean room we can release early?" "Room 614 just cleared," Evan said without hesitation. "Housekeeping marked it 30 seconds ago." "Perfect," Linda said. "We'll set you up right now, and we'll waive the early check-in fee. If you need a crib or extra blankets, Maya will bring them. Would that help?" The woman's eyes filled, the relief immediate and whole. "Yes," she said, holding her child a little closer. "Thank you. Thank you so much." Maya moved with quiet speed, printing keys and jotting down a note for a crib. Evan completed the check-in, his words steady and kind. Linda walked around the counter and knelt briefly to the child's eye level. "We have warm oatmeal and fruit," she said with a friendly smile. "Would you like some while your mom gets settled?" The little one nodded and smiled shyly. In 2 minutes, the guest had keys, directions, and a promise that made the morning feel lighter. Alicia watched the scene and felt a simple, deep pride. The lobby had remembered what it was for. They continued the walk through to the service hallway. Alicia asked to see the heart of the house, the staff break room, the housekeeping station, the engineering corner with its neatly labeled tools. The housekeeping supervisor, a careful man named Tomasz, met them with a clipboard. He kept his carts clean, his cloths folded, his supplies counted. He spoke gently about the new room checklist that helped the team catch small things like uneven curtains and loose shower handles before guests noticed. "Thank you, Tomasz," Alicia said. "The rooms feel cared for. I could feel it the second I opened the door." He smiled with quiet pride. "We try to make it feel like a safe place to rest." In the break room, a small board hung on the wall with notes and a calendar. Someone had written a quote in a neat hand: "Kindness is the easiest way to raise our standard." Alicia pointed at it and smiled. "Who wrote that?" Maya blushed a little and raised her hand. "I did," she said. "Last month. It helps me remember." "It helps all of us," Alicia said. "Thank you." They ended back in the lobby. Guests moved like a soft river now, checking out, finding coffee, asking for directions. The event team set a long table with name badges for the day's conference. A florist arrived with tall arrangements that smelled like a garden after rain. The hotel felt alive. "Before we wrap," Alicia said, "I want to share one small story with you." She stood where her voice could carry to the team without interrupting the guests. "In the early days, I worked the desk at our very first property. There was a night when the system froze and the line grew long and people were tired. A man at the end of the line was quiet, and I almost missed him. He wore a simple jacket. When he finally reached me, he said, 'My wife is in the car. She's cold. We have been driving for 8 hours.' I looked again and found a way. I brought her a blanket from housekeeping while we waited for the system to wake up. It cost nothing. It gave everything." He still writes a holiday card to that hotel every year. Our brand is built on moments like that, small, clear choices to care. Linda swallowed and nodded, her eyes steady. Evan looked like he was storing the story in a safe place. Maya stood a little taller. Priya wrote the phrase "cost nothing," gave everything on her tablet and underlined it. A message buzzed on Priya's screen. She glanced down. "The event organizer wants to confirm that we can hold 5 extra rooms for potential VIPs," she said with care. They've sent a list of names labeled maybe. Alicia lifted her eyebrows slightly and smiled. Let's call them together. They stepped to a quiet corner and dialed. The organizer answered quickly, his voice bright and busy. He spoke about the big day, famous attendees, the need for perfection. Priya listened kindly, then spoke with calm clarity. We will hold 2 rooms for confirmed early arrivals as a courtesy. For any other VIP needs, we can arrange rapid cleaning and priority service the moment a room opens. We won't hold rooms that other tired guests need now. It protects everyone's experience. There was a pause on the line. The organizer considered, then agreed. If you can guarantee quick turnover, that works. We can, Priya said. We have a great team. After the call, Alicia nodded. That was the right balance. Prepare, don't exclude. You found it? At 9, Priya led a quick huddle for all available staff. It was 10 minutes, not a second more. She covered the new hold policy in simple language. She read the updated script. She thanked Maya for speaking up the night before and Evan for owning his mistake. She thanked Linda for staying in the conversation and for leading with care this morning. She reminded everyone how to check back-end inventory and how to escalate a concern quickly without fear. Alicia said one line to close, when in doubt, choose welcome. As the team broke, a young bell attendant rushed in with a concerned face. There's a delivery driver out back, he said. He can't find the loading dock code, and he's nervous about being late. He has the event's main audio equipment. Let's go, Linda said. She turned to Evangelist. Can you cover the desk? Evan nodded. Linda and Alicia walked together with the bell attendant through the service corridor to the back. They found the driver, a man with kind eyes and worried hands, standing beside a stack of carefully labeled cases. He exhaled in relief when he saw them. I'm sorry, he said. I'm new to this route. I don't want to mess up their schedule. You're right on time, Linda said, smiling. She punched in the code, guided the truck into place, and called engineering to send a lift. Alicia watched her move with quiet efficiency, direct, respectful, unhurried. The cases rolled onto the lift like a small parade. The driver thanked them 3 times. On the way back, Linda glanced at Alicia. Thank you for giving me another chance to show who I am, she said simply. You were always that person, Alicia said. Tired habits were speaking for you last night. Today, you're speaking for yourself. Linda's shoulders eased as if a knot had untied. By late morning, the lobby had a soft hum of success. Guests were happy, the event tables glowed, and a small welcome amenity arrived in Alicia's room, a handwritten card from Maya with a tiny sprig of lavender taped beside it. Alicia smiled when she saw it and sent a note back down to the break room with a box of warm pastries for the team and a simple message, "Thank you for choosing welcome." She returned to the lobby to watch the event check-in. A well-known speaker arrived with a light scarf and an open smile. The front desk team didn't crowd or fuss. They simply offered water, confirmed details, and moved with quiet skill. The speaker said, "You all are so calm. It's refreshing." Linda laughed softly. "We practice," she said. At 11, Alicia sat on a sofa near the waterfall wall and took out her notebook. She wrote down a few lines she wanted to send to all properties across the brand, a reminder about holds, a story about the early check-in for the mother and child, and a small note about the chipped marble and the plant, how tiny fixes send big signals. She wrote in clean, simple sentences so every team member, no matter their role or first language, could feel the message land in their heart. A notification flashed on her phone. It was an alert from the brand's social media monitor. Someone had posted late last night, a short video clip of the lobby with the caption, "This hotel told a woman it was sold out while rooms were available online." The clip showed only a sliver of the truth the first moment, not the whole story. The comments were beginning to grow. Alicia watched the little numbers climb. She felt the familiar pull of worry and then let it go. They had a story to tell now, a better one, not with spin, but with actions. She typed a simple response for Priya to post from the hotel's account: "We're sorry for what happened last night. We reviewed our process this morning, changed our holds, and welcomed the guest with care. Our promise is welcome every time. If you had a hard experience here, please message us so we can make it right." She showed the draft to Priya, who nodded and posted it right away. Evan saw it and looked relieved. Linda saw it and stood a little taller. Maya read it and smiled like a small sunrise again. Around noon, the conference began. The florist's tall arrangements stood like green and white music. People laughed at the right moments. The audio worked because the cases had arrived on time. The lobby breathed in and out, a living thing. Ray watched at a distance, content. He caught Alicia's eye and tipped his head. She tipped hers back. It was all going to be okay. Before stepping away for a short break, Alicia wrote one last line in her notebook: "Our standard is not perfection. Our standard is correction." She underlined it once and closed the cover. The day was young, and there would be more tests, because hotels are made of human hours and human choices. But this morning, the team had chosen well. They had turned a hard night into a good day. And the chandelier above them caught that choice and sent it out as light. By early afternoon, the hotel moved like a calm river. The conference on the second floor was in full swing. Laughter rose and fell in clean waves. Servers carried trays with quiet skill. The florist's tall arrangements stood like little forests, fresh and green. Alicia sat near the waterfall wall with a cup of tea and her notebook open. She watched, listened, and wrote small notes that would help later. The chandelier above her made soft stars on the marble when the sunlight shifted. It felt like the building was breathing well again. Priya walked over with careful steps and a steady face. "We have two things," she said. "A social media reporter wants to talk to someone about last night. And engineering says the air in a stack of rooms on 15 is warmer than it should be." "Which one is urgent?" Alicia asked. "The air," Priya said. "Guests first." "Good," Alicia said. "Let's go." They took the elevator with Ray, who joined them to help if needed. On 15, the hallway was cool but not cold. A housekeeper was checking a cart. She smiled and pointed toward a group of rooms. Priya knocked on 1518. A guest opened the door with a polite, worried look. "It feels a little warm," he said. "Not bad. Just not right." "Thank you for telling us," Priya said. "We'll fix it." Ray called engineering, and in less than a minute, a technician arrived with a small toolkit and a handheld meter. He checked the air vent, adjusted a valve in the ceiling, and listened to the hum of the system like a person listening to a friend's voice. The meter numbers moved down. The air felt fresher. The guest smiled with relief. "That's much better," he said. "Thank you." Priya offered cold bottled water to the guest with a small apology card for the trouble. Simple, fast, human. They checked the other rooms in the stack just to be safe. In 1522, a couple returned from the conference as the team finished a quick adjustment. "We didn't even notice," the woman said with a laugh. "You all are on top of things." "We try to be," Priya said kindly. Back in the elevator, Alicia looked at Priya. "Thank you. That's how we keep trust." When they reached the lobby, a young woman with a camera bag was waiting near the front desk. She wore a simple blazer and a press badge clipped to the strap. She had clear eyes and a polite voice. "Hi. I'm Sam," she said. "I write for a travel site. I saw the video from last night. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to ask what happened and what you changed." "Thank you for coming in person," Alicia said. "Would you like to sit by the window?" It's quiet there. She looked at Priya and Linda. Please join us. They sat at a small round table. Maya brought water without being asked. Ray stood far enough away to give space but close enough to help if someone needed it. The lobby hummed softly. The waterfall whispered like a kind reminder. Sam opened a small notebook. I want to be fair, she said. A guest posted a video that said this hotel told her it was sold out while rooms showed online. People are upset. What do you want them to know? Priya spoke first, calm and open. Last night, we made a mistake. We were holding rooms for an event and future arrivals. We told a tired guest we were sold out when we were not. This morning, we changed our policy. Holds are for preparation, not exclusion. We released rooms, trained the team, and corrected the script. We also apologized to the guest and made it right. Sam nodded. That's clear. May I ask who the guest was? Alicia answered softly. Me. Sam's eyes widened, but she did not look unkind. You're the guest. I am, Alicia said. I was traveling and arrived late. I came as any guest would, in simple clothes, no advance call. I wanted to see our truth at midnight. I saw things we need to fix, and I saw people willing to fix them. Sam paused, then smiled a little. That's a rare answer, she said. May I quote you? Yes, Alicia said. Quote this too, our standard is not perfection. Our standard is correction. Sam wrote it down like a seed she would plant later. Can you share a concrete change? Priya lifted her tablet. We created a rule this morning. Holds auto-expire after 2 hours if not tied to a real name. Any guest with a confirmed booking is always welcomed. If we ever need to turn someone away for true safety reasons, we will document it and help them find another place. We added a simple line to our training, when in doubt, choose welcome. Linda spoke quietly. I led the desk last night. I made a poor choice. I'm sorry for it. We'll do better. Sam looked at her and nodded with respect. Thank you for saying that. She closed her notebook. I'm going to write this story with both parts, the mistake and the fix. People deserve both. Thank you, Alicia said. If you want to talk to a team member who spoke up at the right time, Maya is here. She looked at Maya. Only if you want. Maya's eyes widened. I can, she said softly. Sam asked her one question, what made you speak up? Maya looked down at her hands and then up. The lobby is for welcome, she said. If we forget that, the building looks pretty but feels empty. Sam smiled. That's a good line, she said. Thank you. After Sam left, Linda turned to Alicia. I keep thinking about last night, she said. I told myself I was protecting tomorrow. But I was shutting the door on today. We've all done that, Alicia said. The trick is to notice and change. You did both. A bell chimed, and a small group entered the lobby. One of them, a silver-haired man with a gentle face, spotted Alicia and walked over with open arms. There you are, he said warmly. You vanished after the board call yesterday. Hello, Daniel, Alicia said, standing to greet him. He was one of the earliest investors in the brand and had become a mentor and friend. I wanted to see the ground. I saw the clip, he said. Also saw the hotel's post this morning. Good answer. Proud of you all. He looked at Priya and Linda and smiled. You turned fast. That matters. We had help, Priya said, tilting her head toward Alicia. Daniel chuckled. You have a CEO who loves the lobby more than the boardroom. That's your advantage. They spoke for a few minutes about the conference and the day's flow. Then Daniel said, I have a suggestion. Put what you did today into a small guide and share it with all properties by tonight. Keep it simple. 3 checks. Make it pocket-sized so people can carry it. A tool, not a rulebook. Alicia nodded. I like that. 3 checks. She took out her notebook and wrote, inventory check, look twice, release holds that block welcome. Empathy check, picture the person in front of you as someone you love. Escalation check, if unsure, ask fast, no fear, no delay. She looked up. We'll make small cards today and send a digital version now. We'll print and ship the cards this week. Linda leaned in to read. I can train that, she said. I can teach that at midnight, too. Good, Alicia said. Midnight training is where it counts. A front desk line began to form as a cluster of early departures needed receipts. Evan lifted his hand gently to ask for a minute. Alicia smiled and stepped back so the team could do their work. Linda took the lead, simple and steady. Priya moved to the side to help a guest who needed directions. Maya brought a glass of water to a speaker who was rehearsing in a quiet corner. Ray held the elevator for a family with a stroller and a suitcase that kept rolling sideways. A notification popped up on Alicia's phone. The travel site had posted Sam's piece already. The headline read, a hotel told a guest sold out while rooms showed online, here's how they fixed it by morning. The first line said, mistakes happen. What happens next is what matters. The comments were kinder now. Some people still complained, others shared stories of good service. Alicia did not chase every note. She let the hotel's actions speak. The chandelier above her seemed to glow a little more. By mid-afternoon, Alicia asked Priya if they could hold a short listening circle in the break room. 15 minutes, she said. Whoever can come. At 3 o'clock, a dozen staff members gathered, front desk, housekeeping, engineering, food and beverage, and one night auditor who had stayed late. They sat in a circle, not behind tables. The break room smelled like fresh coffee and lemon cleaner. The quote on the wall, kindness is the easiest way to raise our standards, stood above them like a friend. Alicia opened simply. Thank you for joining. I want to ask 2 questions. First, what helps you choose welcome when the day is hard? Second, what gets in your way? People spoke in short, honest sentences. The housekeeping supervisor said, a good checklist helps. I hate missing small things. The list keeps my mind calm. The night auditor said, clear notes from the evening shift help me help guests. When I don't have notes, I guess. Guessing is risky. Evan said, it helps when a manager backs me up if I ask to check inventory again. I didn't ask last night because I felt rushed. Maya said, it helps when we are allowed to say, let me find a way, instead of no, what gets in your way? Alicia asked. A food and beverage server said, when guests speak unkindly, I get small inside. It takes me a minute to grow back. Engineering said, when we don't have spare parts, small problems become long ones. Linda said, when I feel afraid of making a mistake, I make bigger ones. Alicia listened and wrote. Thank you, she said. We can fix many of these today. Priya, let's add a rule, no one gets in trouble for asking a second time. And let's restock common spare parts to a higher level this week. For hard guest moments, we'll do a simple role-play training next week. We can practice calm words that protect both sides. The team agreed. The room felt safe, like a sturdy bench after a long walk. Alicia closed the circle with one more sentence. When we care for each other inside, the lobby will glow on the outside. You cared for each other today. I saw it. They went back to work with lighter shoulders. In the lobby, 2 VIP guests arrived early, one of them well known on television. Linda welcomed them like any guest, warm, clear, no fuss. We have water for you, she said, and your rooms will be ready in 20 minutes. If you'd like to rest, the lounge is quiet. The VIP smiled at the comm and sat down to answer emails. 20 minutes later, the rooms were ready, because housekeeping had seen the note early and moved with kind speed. As the afternoon softened toward evening, Daniel returned with a surprise. He carried a small box with a bow. "For the lobby team," he said. "Open now." Inside were small metal pins shaped like a tiny open door. On the back was a simple word, "Welcome." "Put these out when you finish the 3-check training," he said. "They're not for show. They're a promise." Linda blinked and smiled. "We'll earn them," she said. Alicia looked at the pins and then at the chandelier. The light fell on the little doors and made them shine. She thought about last night's tight moment and today's open one. The turn between them was not magic. It was a stack of small choices: look twice, ask once more, tell the truth, change fast, choose welcome. It was a manager saying "I'm sorry" and meaning it. It was a young employee speaking up with care. It was a general manager showing up at 7 and staying calm when the air got warm in a stack of rooms. It was a security guard standing nearby, making a circle of safety that nobody saw but everyone felt. Near 5 o'clock, Alicia stepped outside for a breath of fresh air. The rain from yesterday had given the air a clean edge. A couple took a photo under the hotel sign. A taxi pulled up and a family climbed out, laughing, tired, together. Alicia watched them walk through the glass doors and into the golden light. She knew what the lobby would give them: water, a smile, clear directions, a bed that felt like a thank you. She knew because the team had chosen it not once, but many times in one day. Her phone buzzed. It was a message from the audit team: brand-wide report, many VIP hold unassigned tags across several properties. Recommendation: auto expire and require a name. She sent back, approve. Roll out globally. Send the 3-check guide with it. Another message arrived from the social media monitor: public sentiment improving. Many comments praising the hotel's honesty and speed. She replied, "Keep listening. Keep caring." She went back inside. The lobby glowed. The waterfall whispered. The chandelier caught the early evening light and threw it back as gentle stars. Alicia felt a quiet joy that did not need noise to be real. The day still had hours left, and little problems would still come, because that is what days do. But the team had built a strong floor under their feet. It would hold. She looked over at Linda, who stood beside Evan and Maya at the desk. They were laughing softly with a guest about a map that kept folding in the wrong place. Ray watched, hands behind his back, content. Priya crossed the lobby, saw Alicia, and gave a small nod that said, without words, "We did good work today." Alicia nodded back. Tomorrow would need new choices. But tonight, the hotel remembered who it was meant to be. And that was enough. Evening settled over the hotel like a soft blanket. The tall windows on the second floor caught the last light and turned it into a quiet glow. People left the conference smiling and chatting in small groups. Servers cleared plates with smooth hands. The florist walked through, trimming 1 or 2 leaves to keep the flowers fresh. The waterfall in the lobby kept whispering, steady and calm. Alicia watched from a sofa, her notebook open but her pen at rest. She liked to sit a little apart and feel the whole place breathe. Tonight, the breath was even. It felt like peace earned the honest way. Priya walked over and sat at the edge of the sofa. "We made it through the busy window," she said, a gentle smile in her voice. Turnover was smooth. The VIPs were easy. The early check-ins are happy. Engineering says the air is holding on 15. Good, Alicia said. Thank you. She looked out at the front desk. Linda guided a guest with a clear map and a lighter step than yesterday. Evan printed a receipt and added a kind word that made a tired man laugh. Maya handed a small paper bag to the mother from Phoenix, the one with the toddler who waved across the lobby. Inside the bag was a warm cookie and a note that said, "Welcome, we're glad you're here." The child held the cookie with both hands like it was treasure. The elevator doors opened and a young man stepped out, looking a little unsure. He wore a hoodie and carried a backpack that had seen many bus rides. He walked to the desk and spoke softly. Alicia did not hear the words, but she saw Linda's face. Calm, bright, open. Linda checked the screen, looked twice, and nodded. In a few minutes, the young man had a key and a map and his shoulders sat a little higher. He glanced around the lobby, surprised by his own luck, and then he smiled. Alicia felt the smile in her chest. Her phone buzzed. It was a short message from the social media team. Update, the guest who posted last night's clip just sent a DM. They're back in the lobby and want to speak. Alicia looked up and saw a woman near the doorway, holding a small camera. The woman had careful eyes and a nervous mouth. She looked like someone who believed in fairness and also believed her voice mattered. Both could be true at once. Alicia stood and walked over. "Thank you for coming back," she said in a gentle voice. The woman lowered her camera and nodded. "I posted fast last night," she said. "I was upset. I thought I was helping. Then I saw the hotel's post this morning. And I read the article that came out. I saw your team in action when I walked in. I think I want to tell the rest of the story." "I appreciate that," Alicia said. "We made a mistake. We corrected it. If you share both, it will help people trust again." The woman breathed out and smiled. "Can I take a short clip from over there? I want to show the training board you set up." "Of course," Alicia said. "And if you want to talk to someone who changed the day, talk to Maya. She reminds all of us what this lobby is for." She called Maya over and stepped back. Maya spoke a few simple lines into the camera, nothing fancy, just true words from a true place. "We welcome guests. If we forget that, we fix it. We do not hide." The woman thanked her and left with a lighter walk. Alicia returned to the sofa. Her phone buzzed again with a link. The woman had posted, "Update, the hotel fixed it by morning. They changed policy. They trained staff. They welcomed people with care. I'm glad I spoke up last night. I'm also glad they listened today." The comments below were not perfect. They never were. But many were kind. Some shared their own stories of welcome. Some said they would book the hotel on their next trip. The online world had softened because the real world had done real work. At 6, Priya gathered the shift change team near the break room for a tiny moment of ceremony. The doorpins Daniel had brought sat in a small wooden bowl on the table. They looked like tiny open doors catching light. People came in, some finishing a long day, some just starting a long night. There was a hush that felt like respect. Priya held up one pin. "These are not awards," she said. "They are reminders. We will give them to each person who has done the 3 checks and who chooses welcome, especially when it is hard." She turned to Linda first. "Linda, you did the 3 checks. You led us with honesty today. Will you accept this?" Linda's eyes shone as she nodded. Priya pinned the tiny door above her heart. It looked right there, like it had always been meant to live on that blazer. The team clapped softly. Evan stepped forward next. Then Maya. Then Ray, who nodded once, strong and quiet, when the pin touched his jacket. Ray cleared his throat, which he almost never did. "I have a small story," he said. "Years ago, I was traveling home to see my father. I got to a hotel after midnight with a reservation. The desk said they were sold out. I slept in the car. I told myself I was okay, and I was. But I still remember the way the lobby looked at me. It felt like a closed door. I took this job to stand near a door and hold it open." He smiled, a small, Steady smile. That's all I wanted to say. The room was quiet for a second, the kind of quiet that heals. Then people nodded and breathed a little easier together. After the pins, Alicia spoke one short line. When we choose welcome, the building changes, she said. You changed this one today. Thank you. The night team headed out to their posts. The day team clocked out with the soft joy of work done well. In the small pause between shifts, Priya and Alicia walked the service corridor one more time. The floor shined. The carts were stocked. The engineering board had neat check marks where the warm air issue had been fixed. In the office, the whiteboard held a new note in blue marker: we keep holds to prepare, not to exclude. Under it, someone had drawn a tiny door with light coming through. Alicia smiled and added a second line below it: our standard is correction. She stepped back and looked at the two lines together. Simple. Strong. Easy to carry in a tired brain. She took a quick photo and sent it to her brand team with a message: this is the heart. Share this tonight. Cards print tomorrow. Her phone buzzed again. It was a quick report from the audit team: auto expire rule pushed to all properties. Early results: 2 hotels released extra holds and welcomed late walk-ins. One note from a nurse at another property: I got a room because of your new rule. Thank you. I have a night shift tomorrow and needed sleep. Alicia read the note twice. She felt something warm and deep. The change had left the building and crossed the city. It was already helping a stranger who would never know any of their names. She returned to the lobby and drifted to the big windows. Outside, the sky wore a soft blue that almost felt like velvet. Street lights woke one by one. A child pressed a nose to the glass from inside, leaving a little circle of fog. The mother laughed and wiped it away with her sleeve. A bell attendant held the door for an older couple and received a thank you that made him stand taller. The chandelier above sent small sparks down the marble, like tiny fireflies. Daniel joined her near the window. He held 2 paper cups of tea and offered one. Mint, he said. The kind you like. Thank you, Alicia said, wrapping her hands around the warm cup. They stood quiet for a moment. Then Daniel said, you know, this could have gone the other way. Many leaders fight the clip. You fixed the cause. Fighting a clip is like pushing smoke, Alicia said. It looks big but slips through your fingers. Fixing the cause is like opening a window. She sipped the tea. I learned that from my mother. How is she? Daniel asked softly. Gone now, Alicia said, her voice soft but steady. But here in my head. She used to say, when someone tries to make you smaller, remember who you are. Last night I remembered. Today the hotel remembered with me. Daniel nodded and looked at the lobby with fond eyes. It shows. Priya walked up with a final update. The event is wrapping clean. Tomorrow's arrivals look normal. We've added a morning huddle note at 7 about the new policy and the 3 checks. I'll send a message to the region tonight with what we learned. Anything else before you rest? Yes, Alicia said. 2 small things. First, keep recognizing people in real time. A tiny thank you right away is worth more than a big one later. Second, please schedule Linda for the next leadership workshop. She's ready. I want to invest in her growth. Priya smiled. Consider it done. She turned to Linda, who had just finished helping a guest print boarding passes. You're on the list for the leadership workshop, she said. Linda blinked. Me. You, Priya said. You showed who you are. Linda pressed a hand lightly to the new pin on her blazer. Thank you, she said, her voice small and strong at the same time. Alicia checked her watch. The day had been long, but it had landed well. She could feel the tired in her bones, but it was a happy tired, the kind that comes after good work. She took one more slow walk across the lobby. She paused at the little plant near the desk. Its leaves looked brighter. Someone had turned the pot so the good side faced the room. She smiled at that gentle choice. She looked up at the chandelier, at the thousands of tiny crystals that caught even the smallest light and made it bigger. Hope, she thought again. Hope is not a decoration, it is a daily practice. She turned to leave for her room, then stopped as the elevator opened and the young man with the backpack stepped out again, holding a folded piece of paper. He walked over, unsure. "Excuse me," he said. "I think you run this place. I just wanted to say thank you. The lady at the desk treated me like I mattered. It's been a long week." "You do matter," Alicia said, simple and true. "I'm glad you're here. Rest well." He nodded and held the paper a little tighter, like it was a new map for a better path. He went back to the elevator with a calmer face. Alicia watched the doors close and felt the lobby breathe once more. In her room, she set her tote on the bench and opened the balcony door an inch to hear the city. The air was cool and friendly. She sat at the small desk and wrote a short letter to all employees across the brand. Her words were simple: "Last night, we forgot our promise. This morning, we remembered. We changed our holds. We trained our words. We chose welcome again. Please use the 3 checks. Please pin the little door over your heart when you have. If you make a mistake, correct it fast. Our standard is not perfection. Our standard is correction. Thank you for the way you care for strangers. You turn buildings into homes." She sent the letter and turned off the desk lamp. The bed felt like a quiet cloud. She lay down and closed her eyes. In the soft dark, she could still hear the waterfalls whisper from the lobby below, or maybe it was just in her head, steady and kind. It sounded like a promise kept. It sounded like a door that would not close in a tired face. It sounded like a chandelier chosen 2 years ago because it felt like hope, now doing its true work, catching tiny lights and sending them back into the world a little brighter than before.